Another week, another debrief. Now, some were saying that this was the best week in track and field in 2023 so far. I'm not sure how true that is, but let me know in the comments below if you think that's true. What's undeniable though is that the NCAA and pro athletes were absolutely on fire. Check out the live recap I did of the Millrose games just this past weekend, where we covered all the sprints and the hurdles in the building right there after it happened. But today, let's jump into everything else that went down around the world. We of course have to start off with Femke Bol in that women's 400 meter dash. 49.96 seconds indoors in the 400. That makes Bol number 4 all time in the 400 meter dash and only the 3rd woman to have ever gone sub 50 seconds indoors. 2 of those women did it all the way back in the 1980s. Bol is also coming off her 500 meter world record, and dropping performances like this, that means that outdoors is going to be wild. She of course won the European gold in the 400 meter hurdles, 400 and 4x4, but it'll be interesting to see what she does at the World Championships in Budapest this year. Now, McLaughlin Levrone is still the queen of the 400 meter hurdles, but I think this performance shows that Femke Bol has the potential to run low 51 seconds in the hurdles, and of course very likely 48 seconds in the open 400 if she chooses to drop into that this year. Next, let's jump down a bit to the 200 meters where Favour Ofili of Nigeria and LSU dropped the hammer with a time of 22.36 seconds. That improves on her own Nigerian and African record and also makes her number 2 in NCAA history. It also makes her number 6 in world history as well. We already spoke about how Steiner was the only person in front of Ofili last year, but now that Steiner is no longer in the NCAA, she's already a pro, Ofili might be on pace to do some serious damage. Could we see Ofili run sub 22 seconds indoors? Who knows, but I would not be surprised if she does. Keeping things in the 200, but moving over to the men's side, we have to highlight Tarsis Orogot of Uganda, who competes for Alabama. In the 200, he threw a huge personal best down of 20.20 seconds, moving him to number 7 in NCAA history, only behind a couple names like Elijah Hall, Christian Coleman, Wallace Spearman, along with some others. That's also number 8 in world history and number 3 in African history as well, only behind Frankie Fredericks as well as Divine Oduduru from Nigeria. What's also very notable about this performance is he is the only athlete in NCAA history to have run this fast this early in the year. Everyone else in the top 10 or so have run their top times at the NCAA championships all the way in March. The only exception is Divine Oduduru, but based on recent events, yeah, so that's a whole other thing. But look out for Orogot this year. He could not only win the NCAAs, but could we see him break the NCAA record? Maybe even get under 20 seconds indoors? That'd be kind of crazy, but let's see what he does in 2023. Next, let's drop down further to the 60 meter dash. Trayvon Bromell proved why he is one of the best in the world at the event. 6.42 seconds down in Clemson. Bromell was just coming off a loss to Noah Lyles at the New Balance Indoor Grand Prix, and he was pretty disappointed after that race with his performance. This proved that Boston race was just a blip in the radar, and Bromell, running 3 rounds, hit times of 6.54, 6.46, and 6.42 seconds. Remember, Bromell's personal best prior to this meet was 6.47 seconds from 2016 at the World Indoor Championships. He surpassed that on 2 occasions and now sits at number 6 all time in the 60 meter dash. If that's not an indication of something crazy coming in the 100 meters, I don't know what is. Now, of course, the 100 meters is stacked, even just in the United States, but Bromell is never one to play with when he gets his race right and is executing on all cylinders. So always keep a lookout for what he's gonna do in 2023. Still in the 60 meters, but back on the women's side, Daryll Neita of Great Britain put down a massive personal best time of 7.05 seconds. That improved on her previous best of 7.11 seconds from 2022. And that actually is only 1/100th of a second off the national record that Dina Asher-Smith set a few weeks ago of 7.04 seconds. I know Neita hasn't gotten much coverage and maybe overshadowed a bit, but the past 2 years, 2021 and 2022, have been huge for her, and she is very much in the mix when talking about the top sprinters in the world. Check out the video I did just a couple months ago breaking down Daryll Neita's amazing 2022 season, and I think there's a lot to look forward to as we move throughout the 2023 year if she's starting off her season and starting off her year on this high note. Next, let's move over to the field where Greece's Militadis Tentoglou shot out to a world lead of 8.40 meters in the long jump. Now, unfortunately, it looks like this mark is not considered legal because apparently the soles of his shoes were a little too thick, or maybe not too thick. I don't know exactly what happened, but it resulted in a disqualification later in the week. Now, though that is a little unfortunate, I think this performance in itself is still very notable. That would have been Tentoglou's 6th best jump of his entire career, and that continues to show his consistency in the event. Now, of course, we're all still waiting for the days when a lot of these guys will be jumping 8.6 meters or even farther a lot more consistently. But Tentoglou could be the one to push the event forward a lot sooner than we think. Outside of Tentoglou in the long jump, Jeremiah Davis of Florida State, who has been consistently improving week after week, went even farther once again. A jump of 8.28 meters in the long jump this past weekend further improved his NCAA lead and proves that he is the clear favorite for the NCAA title this year. I think we're all just waiting for him to pop off a really big mark into the sand very, very soon. Also, have to shout out Cameron Crump of Mississippi State, who jumped 8.21 meters in the long jump as well, just on the heels of Davis actually making things a lot more competitive going into NCAAs this year. Now, I would love to go more in depth with all these amazing performances, but here are just a couple more highlights that definitely deserve some recognition as well. Alicia Hickey and Jasmine Moore jumped 6.79 and 6.74 meters in the long jump respectively, giving them the top 2 performances in the NCAA. Rita Hurske of Finland ran 7.81 seconds in the 60-meter hurdles. Jordan Alejandro Diaz Fortun of Spain jumped 17.49 meters in the triple jump, a world-leading performance there. Jason Joseph of Switzerland in the 60-meter hurdles hit 7.48 seconds out in Europe, continuing his amazing season in the hurdles so far. Also in the high jump, Yaroslava Muhuchik of Ukraine jumped a world lead of 2.02 meters, while Lamar Diston of Jamaica and Texas A&M jumped a personal best and NCAA lead of 1.97 meters. Diston specifically is now number 3 in NCAA history, and she's just 1 centimeter away from the NCAA record, which is very much in reach. Finally, Cordell Tinch of Pittsburgh State hit 7.50 seconds in the 60-meter hurdles for an NCAA leading performance as well. So that was a lot, and probably just scratching the surface of the top performances that we saw around the world this weekend. So as always, go in the comments below, let me know not only what your favorite performance from this past week was, but also any performances that need some highlight and I definitely missed this week. Again, make sure you check out the recap that I did in the building of the Millrose Games, all the amazing sprints and hurdle performances that went down there. Definitely covered them there. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll be back again next time. Thanks for watching.
I am way stronger and more resilient than I think that I am, or stronger and resilient than anybody thinks that I am. I can make anything shake when it's time to make it shake. And it's like, and that was when I wasn't really healthy. So it's like, imagine when I'm healthy and my mind is fully aligned and I'm taking care of everything I need to take care of. It's just like, it just really put in perspective more. It's just those moments that put more into perspective for me, the type of athlete that I am. And I'm just like, I haven't even fully reached my potential. And it's like, it's so much more for me to do in this sport, in this event, and for myself.